runs at his age, and he looked up to me. So that's all me.
The Alabama Sheriff's Association released this statement saying, quote, "With heartfelt sincerity, we at the Alabama Sheriff's Association and its members extend our deepest sympathies to the family of Deputy Jeremias Young, as well as Sheriff Derek Cunningham and the entire Montgomery County Sheriff's Office," end quote.
Voters in Alabama will soon head to the polls for the state's runoff elections.
And one of the biggest races is the state's newly redrawn 2nd Congressional District. In the Republican runoff, Dick Brubaker is taking on Caroline Dodson. Both candidates participated in a debate co-moderated in Mobile with us and our sister station there. You can watch that debate today at 4 p.m. instead of our 4 p.m. newscast.
Then tomorrow will air the debate for the Democrats running for District 2. Those candidates are Shamari Figures and Anthony Daniels. They'll also air around 4 p.m. tomorrow. You'll be able to watch both debates on WSFA.com and the WSFA 12 News app.
Happening tomorrow, the 2024 Alabama Substance Abuse Youth Summit will be held at Fraser Church in Montgomery. This effort helps to combat the spread of false or misleading information about underage drinking and substance abuse. It will feature law enforcement, juvenile court officials, social workers, and more. Attorney General Steve Marshall will serve as the keynote speaker.
Later this week, Lockheed Martin and Troy is hosting a career fair. Several positions are open at the Aerospace and Defense Manufacturing Facility. The first is set for next Thursday, this Thursday, April 11th, at the Troy Recreation Center on Enzora Road. That runs from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. You are encouraged to pre-register online for that event. We have all that information on our website. Just go to the WSFA 12 News app.
I'm Vicki Barker. Tens of millions of Americans will be looking at the sky, hopefully through protective lenses, a few hours from now, and I'll bet you know why. CBS's Steve Kagan is in Indiana.
Anticipation is climaxing here and all along a 100-mile wide path from Texas to Maine, where in just under 6.5 hours, the moon's shadow will begin sweeping across the country. A total solar eclipse. 32 million Americans live in the path of totality. Millions more have traveled here for the celestial show.
I bet it's going to be cool.
It'll be memorable because that is the unique part in which I'll say, hey, you know what, I got to see that, and I know exactly where I was when I was.
CBS's Tony DeCopel is also here in Indianapolis.
No viewing site will be larger than the Motor Speedway in Indianapolis. Up to 50,000 people expected, many even camping out, for an experience that's described as
An amazing sky show that unfortunately is difficult to describe.
Paul Messerschmidt and his brother John are here for their 12th total eclipse between them.
It's an opportunity to kind of share a communal event and maybe have a few moments of peace and tranquility.
But clouds are forecast along much of the path of totality. Former President Donald Trump has weighed in on the abortion debate, arguing laws should be set by individual states, not the federal government.
Many states will be different. Many will have a different number of weeks, or some will have more conservative than others, and that's what they will be.
Trump posting on his Truth Social platform a little while ago. And the Vatican has just declared that gender-affirming surgeries and surrogacy are grave threats to human dignity. A new document on Catholic doctrine puts them on a par with abortion and euthanasia. At the same time, a spokesman says the Vatican is opposed to treating homosexuality as a crime. Gaza. Israel's pulling out upon units ahead of a possible assault on Rafah, a last Hamas stronghold. Israel says. BBC's Yuga Pacheca says it's also a last safe haven for civilians.
More than 1 million Palestinians are now sheltering in Rafah, in overcrowded camps, in crowded shelters. There have been concerns that any kind of major military offensive in Rafah could lead to a humanitarian catastrophe.
Actor Jonathan Majors is set to be sentenced today for assaulting his ex-girlfriend. CBS News legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum has the background.
The crime took place in the back of an SUV. His then ex-girlfriend saw a text message from another woman on his phone. She lunged for the phone, which he hid behind his back, and somehow he twisted her arm, broke her finger, and she hit her head.
This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Did you know that every day, Freeborn's network of clinics experiences 200 miracles? How? Preborn gives women with unplanned pregnancies a window into their womb and free ultrasounds, introducing them to the beautiful life growing inside. Once she meets her child inside her womb and hears their heartbeat, the chance of her baby's life doubles. Because of the generosity of you and me who donate just $28 to sponsor an ultrasound, Preborn can do this. The cost of a dinner to save a life. The most worthwhile investment you can make. All gifts are tax deductible and go entirely to saving babies. Someday you may meet a baby that you rescued, and you can give them a hug. Or maybe they'll give you a hug. Maybe they'll even save your life as they grow and pursue meaningful careers. One thing is for sure, you'll never regret saving a child's life because life is a miracle. All gifts are tax deductible and will go directly towards saving babies' lives. Donate securely at preborn.com/give-life. That's preborn.com/give-life. Sponsored by Preborn.
It all comes down to tonight. The men's NCAA championship game takes place in Glendale, Arizona.
It's the last dance. Defending champion UConn will be tipping off against fellow one-seed Purdue for the ultimate prize. The Boilermakers will be making their first finals appearance since 1969, but getting to this point isn't good enough for Purdue center Zach Edey. The stakes are also high for the Huskies and Connecticut head coach Dan Hurley.
Having a chance to make history at a place that is impossible to make history.
With a victory, UConn would become the first team to win back-to-back titles since Florida did it in 2006 and 2007. Erica Herskowitz for CBS News.
The card has been delivered to a woman in the British city of Hull more than 27 years after it was mailed. Alfie Meliel had just broken up with her partner, Mandy. The card was from Mandy's mother, hoping the two would remain friends. And 27 years later, she says they are. I'm Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, post-nasal drip, interrupted sleeping, and just groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion will make you get up miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com. ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hey, y'all, Lewis at the Capital Oyster Bar over here on the beautiful Alabama River. To talk about the river, down here, rent your pontoon boat. All you need is a driver's license and a credit card. Stay down here, come enjoy us. You also got an RV park over here where you can bring your RV, stay a little while, walk next door to the restaurant. Get over here on Sunday afternoon, you'll find out we've got some great live entertainment this week. Gina Coleman's bringing her band to town with a great voice she's got. Check it all out at CapitalOysterBar.com or go to our Facebook page, see what's going on. Get down here soon, come hungry, y'all.
Telling it like it really is.
That's the fact, Jack.
It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440. Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit Allstate.com or call for a quote. both today?
Most of today is dry. It's going to be another warm day in the upper 70s to around 80. Skies will be partly to mostly cloudy. We will have a chance of some showers, though, give or take 4 o'clock onward through the evening and overnight. Nothing severe, probably not even much in the way of thunder or lightning. Tonight's warm. We're down into the upper 50s. We'll be in the 70s tomorrow with a chance of some showers, but some of the day will be dry, and then a more impactful system with heavy rain and strong storms Wednesday into Wednesday night. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Sons Automotive, family owned, family driven on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. So far, your Monday morning commute continues with no problems or accidents to report. If you see something out there, please safely give us a call. We'll be sure to pass that along. Caterpillar is the name when it comes to heavy equipment to get the job done. Thompson Tractor has been serving Alabama and Northwest Florida for over 60 years. For serious work, Thompson Cat is ready. Highway 80 off I-85. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic information delay, this is Lois Lane.
Good morning, I'm Judd Davis. Here's what's happening in the news on this Monday. A tough start to the week for the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. A deputy involved in a crash died in UAB Hospital. Tobias Young was involved in a crash on Hobby Road last week. He's been with the Sheriff's Office since he was 18 years old. Spring break season still going strong. Gas prices still going up by 7 cents in the last 2 weeks. And now the national average is $3.50. This happens when the moon passes through the Earth and the sun. In Alabama, it starts at noon and ends after 3. I'll move out to all days the best time to look up. It'll be around 2 o'clock this afternoon. We have a proper eye lift. Year 2024. That's your news on this Monday. I'm Jed Davis for WSFA 12 News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I love my late father-in-law. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lonray Pelusi with today's Tip for Kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Getting ready for a new baby is a busy time. An important decision is how you will feed your baby. Breastfeeding will give your baby the best start in life. Breast milk is easy to digest, and it has all the nutrients your baby needs. Breast milk protects babies from diseases and infections, and the close physical contact creates a special bond. If you have questions about breastfeeding, talk with your pediatrician and visit healthychildren.org.
I'm Aaron Tippett. I've been blessed to be able to make a living at what I love, making music for more than 25 years. But it didn't get there overnight. There were a lot of long days and nights of working just to make ends meet. Good things in life don't always come easy, but when you sweat for what you want, it makes it even sweeter when you get it. So remember to work hard, and when the opportunities present themselves, you got to be ready to grab them. This message is brought to you by the United States Air Force.
My wife and I enjoyed a wonderful dinner last week with friends we hadn't seen in a long time. The next day, we received a handwritten note which they delivered to our mailbox, letting us know how much they had enjoyed our dinner together, along with an article that we had discussed. You know, in today's high-tech, low-touch world, it's refreshing to get a thoughtful handwritten note once in a while. It's enough to inspire me to get started. To learn more, check us out at BeKindnessRevolution.net.
Is the voice of the conservative millennial. The Ben Shapiro Show, Monday night at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
And again, good morning, everybody. Hope this day finds you well. It is a Monday morning here in the capital city of Alabama. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440. It is time, of course, for our daily bread, a word from on high, something that'll change your perspective or at least give you a new one. Either way, however it works, it's good for the soul. Anyway, good morning to you. Today's daily bread, of course, it is April the 8th, 2024.
This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
It is April the 8th, 2024. Today's daily bread is joy in the city. Our scripture insight today comes from Proverbs 11, 1 through 11. But Proverbs 11:10 reads, when the righteous prosper, the city rejoices. Govern yourselves accordingly. And again, it is April the 8th. It is a day like all the other days that it's never been. And once it's gone, it will never, ever be again. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should do today that you don't. And you don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do with this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done. If you have lived a while, you no doubt have seen, you've heard many, many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace and mercy of God, we may, I'm not sure, we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day that is the first day of the rest of our lives. What are we going to do with it? Well, do what you can, while you can, from whom you can, and every once in a while, reach back and give somebody else a helping hand. After all, somebody gave you one somewhere along the way. Benjamin Elijah May said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well, no man living, no man dead, no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say if that is the standard of how you live life, you'll always be successful. Oh, you'll fail at a thing or two. We all do. But you'll never be a failure until you quit. We say give out if you must, rest if you can, but you never quit. You never give up. Never, ever give up. Because quitters will never win. And while winners may lose a thing or two, they never give up. My mother said, put one foot in front of the other. Nothing beats a failure but a try. Martin Luther King said, if you cannot run, walk. And if you cannot walk, crawl. But whatever you do, always keep moving forward. Don't ever give up. Don't ever quit. Because quitters will never win. And winners may lose in a thing or two, but they never quit. My mama also used to say that nothing beats a failure but a try. Keep trying. Don't ever give up. Because winners never quit. And quitters will never win. Remember that as you journey through this day. And again, today's daily bread is simply entitled Joy in the City. We'll be back.
tied 3-3, sending the soccer teams to penalty kicks. After Argentina made the winning goal, the nation erupted in celebration. More than 1 million Argentinians overwhelmed downtown Buenos Aires. Drone footage spread across social media, showing this raucous, happy scene. One BBC report described how the city quaked with an explosion of joy. Joy is always a wonderful gift. Proverbs, though, describes how a city, a people, can experience joy that goes even deeper and lasts far longer. When the righteous prosper, Proverbs says, the city rejoices. When those who truly live by God's designs for humanity begin to influence a community, then this signals good news because it means God's justice is taking hold. Greed diminishes, the poor find support, the oppressed are protected. Whenever God's right way of living flourishes, then there's joy and blessing in the city. If we're genuinely living out God's ways, then the result will be good news for everyone. The way we live will make the community around us better and more whole. God invites us to be part of His work to heal the world. He invites us to bring joy to the city. Today's devotional scripture reading is from Proverbs 11, verses 1 to 11. The Lord detests dishonest scales, but accurate weights find favor with Him. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. Wealth is worthless in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The righteousness of the blameless makes their paths straight, but the wicked are brought down by their own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright delivers them, but the unfaithful are trapped by evil desires. Hopes placed in mortals die with them. All the promise of their power comes to nothing. The righteous person is rescued from trouble, and it falls on the wicked instead. With their mouths, the godless destroy their neighbors, but through knowledge, the righteous escape. When the righteous prosper, the city rejoices. When the wicked perish, there are shouts of joy. Through the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted, but by the mouth of the wicked, it is destroyed. Let's pray. Dear God, please help us to join you in bringing joy to others. Help us to revel in your joy. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you for listening. My name is Wynn Collier, and today's encouragement was provided by our Daily Bread Ministries.
And now, let us pay homage to all of our armed forces of these United States. Actually, I want to give a good shout out to Maxwell and Gunner Air Force Base yesterday. Out there me and the Z were out there the last day for the event on the horizon. That's the airplanes and stuff going up and down. We spent a little time at the PX. Can't believe it. For the first time, my child bought me lunch, but he did tell me I had to pay him back. Okay then. Yeah. Hey, the burdens of fatherhood. That's right. It's a Monday morning. It's time to rise and shine this morning. Army, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. After all, this is an Air Force town, so we're gonna give a special shout out to Maxwell Gunner. And we got a guest coming up sometime this hour after we pay homage to the deputy sheriff that we lost. But Samari Figures is supposed to be here sometime this morning. We'll see what time that is when he gets here. I guess they say the best for last. And last but certainly not least, their motto is Semper Fidelis, but they couldn't pronounce that. So we just said Semper Fi. But whether it's Semper Fidelis or Semper Fi, it all means the same thing. And what's that? That is always, always, always faithful. Yellow. Yeah. Okay, no problem. All right, thanks. And welcome in, everybody. You know, as everybody knows in the city of Montgomery right now, we lost a young soul, a young man who knew what he wanted to do and set out to get it done. His life was taken in an accident last week, 21 years young. Our prayers and condolences go out to the families of our former sheriff deputy, Demarius Young. He died at a Birmingham hospital a couple of days ago after being involved in an accident, as a matter of fact, on Hobby Road out there. You know, it is rare in today's environment that we find young men that know what they want to do and do all the things that it takes to get it done. He started off at the sheriff department at 18 years old, not even legally old enough to carry a weapon. But he worked at it and worked at it and worked at it, stuck it out. And Montgomery was better for it and better for him. And to his parents, his father and mom and his relatives, we'll miss him too. I don't have the pleasure of heaping such glory upon 21-year-olds in today's environment. He was a special young man. And we honor his life and his legacy. And there are a lot of people in Montgomery right now, a lot of young men in Montgomery. You don't have to look to football players, rappers, baseball players for a hero. Ronald Reagan once said, "Where do we find such men?" Well, we find such people in our own neighborhoods, in our own cities, in our own schools, from the police departments, the sheriff departments, the fire departments. Men who are willing to go in harm's way, not just in the military, but out here also. So to his family, to all of his friends, I never had the honor of meeting Mr. Young, but I'm sure if I had met him, I am absolutely sure we would have had a lot to talk about. So we pay homage to that young man this morning, like we do for all of our men in uniform. For the things they left us with and for the things they gave us. Some people give a little. Some of us give all we got. Farewell, my friend.
Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Lowe's. Pros, save big when you buy in bulk at Lowe's. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more select OSB sheathing, because Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Most of today is dry. It's going to be another warm day in the upper 70s to around 80. Skies will be partly to mostly cloudy. We will have a chance of some showers, though, give or take 4 o'clock onward through the evening and overnight. Nothing severe, probably not even much in the way of thunder or lightning. Tonight's warm. We're down into the upper 50s. We'll be in the 70s tomorrow with a chance of some showers, but some of the day will be dry, and then a more impactful system with heavy rain and strong storms Wednesday to Wednesday night. That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Sons Automotive, family owned, family driven on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Your commute continues with no accidents or anything to send you on an alternate route this morning. If you do see something out there, please safely contact us and we will pass it along. Haynes Ambulance is there for you both on the ground and in the air. From a simple patient transport to life and death situations, Haynes is ready at a moment's notice. Buckle up front and back. It's the law from Montgomery Skywatch Traffic. And for major delay, this is Slowest Lane.
100 Thieves is undergoing major leadership changes, with founding executive John Robinson moving to an advisory role. Fans can be assured 100 Thieves aren't skipping a beat, with 3 current executives promoted to fill the vacant leadership roles. These shifts follow the sale of their energy drink, Juvie, setting up a new age for 100 Thieves. We're left wondering, what's next for the team?
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
Give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kids. Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us in the electronics department and Walmart.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single silver unlimited plan higher required.
This is Mike.
And we live on Facebook. Yeah, we are.
Mike, let's talk about our
Yeah, you can go to my website. I mean, our Facebook page.
healthy, crunchy.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine.
Pleasure to meet you, man. Listen, tell me what you said, man. So we just getting around to you. Like I tell you, believe it or not, this is the first radio interview that we've done. I did one podcast. Yeah, this is the first radio interview that we've done.
Oh, really?
In the entire campaign. So you first. You ain't last.
Okay. Your wife accidentally called me one night a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. She was doing a phone banking. Yeah. And I gave her my number. I said, well, y'all call me. And but I know you talked.
Well, she gave it to Lindsay. It was certainly it was after she didn't mean to call. No, you was good on the call list.
Yeah.
You know we those call lists of people that voted.
You are taller in person than you are on TV, bro.
Oh yeah.
What's up with that?
6'3", man.
All right.
Now, where are you from? You from here originally?
Not originally, but I've been here. I've been here since '91. I'm like an honorary Alabamian.
Where's home?
Indiana.
What part?
South Bend. Home of Notre Dame, baby. Besides Notre Dame, I roll with the tide.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
And I've been in Alabama too long. I went home one day in 2020. I went out to University of Notre Dame, sat down on the bench with Newt Rockland and all them, and wrote Roll Tide. I said, Lord, I've been in Alabama too long.
Yeah, it's good. That's for sure. That's for sure, man. Well, I appreciate you having me.
Well, that's okay. I appreciate you coming. I mean, I like getting into politicians every once in a while.
Hey, you got to, man. You have to. Look, it impacts everybody's life, whether they realize it or not. Government certainly has a role in everybody's life.
Whether they know or not.
Yeah. Whether they choose to participate.
Now, why a Democrat? Why not a Republican?
For me?
Yeah.
So look, for me, man, look, I look at the core values of who I think I actually care about people.
Abortion. We don't get to live. You don't get no values if we kill you at birth.
Well, look, hold on. Well, you got to get to where you believe that life actually begins, right? And so the counter to that is that I can say this, right? So look, I'm a believer life begins at the point of viability, right? And so
there's no viability unless the process is begun, which is conception.
No, I totally understand.
So it's a process, and if you interrupt that process anywhere in between, you stop life.
For me, I believe that life begins at the point of viability. That's just what I believe. That's my belief, right? But abortion is not the reason I'm a Democrat. But the other thing I'll say is this, just like on this issue, there's a difference between being pro-life and pro-birth, right? So a Republican Party can say that they're all pro-life, but they're not. Life requires substance. Life requires you investing in the things that people actually need to survive.
That's your parents' job. 95% cheaper, and you can get it online at hims.com.
Parenting is not a universal asset. So when parenting fails, we just gonna say the hell with everybody who have bad parents. No, we can't do that.
That's a perspective, but ultimately that responsibility resides with the parents.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
But I agree there must be safeguards starts.
ED is personal.
Yeah, well, I mean,
things don't happen.
we just know that parenting is not a universal asset, right? Like we sounds like you were blessed with great parents. I was blessed with great parents. I know far too many people who weren't blessed with great parents. I know far too many people whose parents died. I had a parent that died unexpectedly.
Is your mother still?
Oh yeah.
She's still sitting there.
Yeah.
I tried to get up here a couple times too. You can tell her I've been looking for years.
All right, I'll tell her.
She ain't showed up yet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But-
good. I like that.
Yeah, man,
I read about your dad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I got a set of headphones over there.
Right here?
Yeah. All right, welcome in everybody. We have been. I know it's going to be difficult to move from one thing to another right quick, and we don't mean to make anything more important than the other. But I do have a guest in the studio this morning, Mr. Samari Figures. Samari, is that how you pronounce it?
Shamari,
Like
yes,
Samari
sir.
and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, let me put that over there. First of all, tell the folks who you are and tell us a little bit who Samari Figures is.
Yeah, so look, I'm Shamari Figures. To sum it up, look, I love God, I love my wife, I love my children, I love my family. I was born and raised in Mobile, Alabama. Grew up there in my granddaddy's church. I was educated there, product of the public school system. I'm a proud graduate of John L. LaFleur High School, which I personally think is the best high school in the land. Look, that's the community that raised me and prepared me to go on and have a career that took me across the spectrum of federal government. I worked in all three branches of federal government. I consider the military a bit of a fourth branch. I did not serve this nation as you did in our armed services, and thank you for that service. But I've had the I've had the privilege to learn throughout my career how government works. My career took me to clerking on a federal court, to then working to help get President Obama elected, and then going over to the White House for several years, and then going over to the Department of Justice from there. Spent several years as a lawyer working in Congress, then went back after doing the Biden-Harris transition team, the group that helped sort of prepare the incoming administration for coming back into the White House and coming back into the as the head of government. Then I went back to the Department of Justice yet again, and where most recently I served as Deputy Chief of Staff to Attorney General Merrick Garland. And so, look, I tell people I don't agree with how government works in a lot of respects, as most people don't. There's certainly major aspects of it that we need to improve, but I know how it works, and I know how it works. And look, I tell people throughout my career, whether I was in a room with a president, an attorney general, a senator, a congressman, Alabama was with me, because that's the experience that informed the lens through which I view life. I grew up black and in Alabama, and people ask me, well, why did you decide to go and serve in federal government? It's because I grew up black in Alabama. When you grow up black in Alabama, you know and you understand the role that federal government has had to play in making this state do right by black people. That always resonated with me, whether we're talking about, here in Montgomery, whether you're talking about a bus boycott, or the civil rights movement, the voting rights movement, desegregation. Those are things that the federal government had to step in and make this state actually do right by a significant segment of its population. Even this district that we're running in is yet another example of the federal government having to get involved to make Alabama do right by black people. This district would not exist if it was not for the same Voting Rights Act that was passed because of the people here in Montgomery standing up and leading the way and protesting against the way people were being treated and the access that they had to influence their electoral process. And so, listen, that always resonated with me. That's what motivated me. That's what pushed me. That, in addition to my parents were both in elective office. My father actually integrated University of Alabama's law school. He was the first black to go to the law school. He and several others went into the first class. I'm sorry, I don't want to diminish the others. The first class to admit black law students. My father was in that class at University of Alabama, and he was the first black graduate. Then he went on to become a state senator. He died suddenly in '96. My mother was on the Mobile City Council at the time, and then she ran for that state Senate seat and has been in it ever since. And so I kind of grew up. There's literally not been a day of my life, a single day of my life, where one of my parents has not been an elected official. And they have always instilled in us the necessity to make sure that you are giving back and make sure that you are providing the best that God has given you for the benefit of the people and places that matter most to you. And so that's what's always driven my career. That's what's always motivated me, anything I was doing throughout my career. And that's what motivated me to get in this race as well. And so that's a little bit about Shamari. Look, I'm the proud husband of Kalisha Figures, proud father of 3 young kids, 4, 2, and 8 months. And so that's what drives me. That's what motivates me, man.
Okay. You know the question that has been asked, and I'm going to ask it too. And we certainly appreciate your service on a national level. But the question that has been asked, and I know you've heard it, so I'm not the first to bring this up.
I'm ready for
it. After living so long, so away, do you think your spirit and your soul and your knowledge of the dynamics of Alabama in 2024 is sufficient enough to represent those people with all the intricacies of the modern day?
Yeah, absolutely, I do. Because it's never been a situation where I moved off and disregarded the state, disregarded my hometown, disregarded the people and places that made me. Right, I've been in government. I've been working in and around a lot of the issues that Alabama has unfortunately been on the wrong side of, in my opinion. In Washington, D.C. and nationally, I've stayed connected here to the state, stayed connected to my hometown. We own a business here, a successful business here in the state. My mother is here, mama's here, home is here. So it's not been that sort of situation. I have always been connected. I tell people, look, I didn't go off to some big city, big law firm, or working for some big Fortune 500 company. I've always stayed in the fray, even when I had the opportunity to jump out and go work in something that wasn't tangibly related to actually being able to provide a benefit to people. I didn't do it. Right? Like I came out of I was senior advisor, White House liaison to Attorney General Loretta Lynch at the end of the Trump administration. I literally could have left there and ridden my own ticket to go to any big law firm or any big company, in-house counsel, corporate counsel, general counsel type roles. And I did it. Because I wanted to stay in the fight, because I knew that there needed to be a voice that brought the perspective that I could in a certain realm of government. And so what I did was I went to the U.S. Senate, and this was before Doug Jones was elected. When I worked in the U.S. Senate, I was literally the only black man from the state of Alabama working in the United States Senate in any capacity. And there I took, what informs me, right? Like this is like, look, when you're born in Alabama and you're raised in Alabama and your people still here in Alabama, you don't get untouched or unhinged with Alabama. So this was, not at all that situation.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. There are 435 members of the House. Well, after you get there, probably 436.
No, there's still be 435. It's not a new district. It's just newly redrawn.
Redrawn. Right, exactly. You make up 0.03% of that House. Tell me what superpowers that you have that's going to make you significant at 0.03% of the House.
So look, you are assuming the math is correct, which I'm pretty sure it is. You are 0.03% of the body, but you are 100% of the voice of the people of here in District 2. Right? You are 100% of their representation there. Right? They don't have another option. Right? And so, well, every 2 years they get to choose another option, but if elected, they don't have another. You are there 100%, right? And so you have to go into this and understand that people are relying on you. They're not trusting you to go up there and get involved in the, in the whatever the national issue of the day is that's on TV and going back and forth. People in this district really have problems that they need the federal government to be there to help fix. The federal government, I don't think, is a solution to everything, as you don't.
Yeah, Ronald Reagan said, don't you? The worst thing you can hear is, I'm from the federal government, I'm here to help you.
Well, Ronald Reagan also said, believe in Reaganomics, and we saw what happened there.
Right? I did all right. I did all right. I did all right.
Well, you, right? Yeah. The I, right? Yeah. But we know when we look at the total package of what happened, the we did not do as good, right? The we being poor black people, the we being
I'm one of them too.
Well, but you, right? Like you, right? And that's fine, and God bless you, right? And we want everybody to do it, but when you go through those policies, and I'll get back to the question, but when you analyze the tax policy through that mechanism, through Reaganomics, we saw what happened. Like poverty rates increased, opportunity gap increased, right? Yes, a certain percentage of black people,
which is the same thing as always has been. It's always been a certain percentage of people moving up, and there are those who don't.
But when you take government resources away from the people who need them the most, right? You actually you put them in a place where their success is severely hampered. We can go back to Reaganomics, but to answer your question, right?
Yeah.
I view the role of a congressman kind of threefold. One, spelled out in the Constitution, power of appropriations, right? Like you go there with the best help to provide the best effort that you can to pull back the federal resources to your district to address the local priorities and local initiatives, whether that's infrastructure, whether that's defense spending, whatever it is. That's one. Two, I view the role of a sitting congressperson as being able to help local constituencies navigate through the complexities of a federal government process, whether that's VA benefits, whether that's social security issues, whether that's, immigration related issues, State Department getting the passport, whatever it is, being that sort of conduit for people. Third, I view it as being the biggest lobbyist, advocate, and cheerleader for your district that you possibly can be in every respect. The federal government, and I think the role of a congressman is much greater than just going to the actual Capitol. The federal government is huge. It's encompassed by a variety of agencies. And so I think, yes, if you limit your perspective to what a congressman
it is overly cumbersome.
It's big. It is. Absolutely.
And they were never intended to be this big, as a matter of fact.
Look, I don't disagree with that. But neither you nor I had a hand in getting
Let's take a call for you. Somebody wants to talk to you for a second. Good morning. You're on there with Shamari Figures. Make sure I get. Good morning. He said the Bidenomics is working as good as the Reaganomics.
You said Bidenomics?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. What's your name? Don, pleasure to meet you, man. Yes, sir. No, absolutely not. Well, absolutely not. I'm not supportive of that. Not that I wouldn't want to stop that. So look, I would like Roe to be codified. I would like to go back into a world where the law under Roe v. Wade was codified. Well, it's not in the Constitution. That does not prohibit a federal law. Well, listen to me. This is what we would do. Well, you're talking too now. You ain't really trying to listen. You can't listen and talk at the same time. So listen. So I believe that the law under Roe v. Wade should be the federal law. The Supreme Court said that states don't have to abide by it in the form of a constitutional right. That does not mean that Congress cannot pass a federal law that actually governs this aspect of it. And so that's my position of it. Is that the law as it was and. Are you familiar with what the limits were in Roe v. Wade? Right. There were. Roe v. Wade was the law under Roe v. Wade was around the point of viability, right? And that is where that is the. Well, listen. You listen to the science. I forget the exact month. I believe it was around 4th or 5th month post conception. But at the end of the day. What I'm telling you is I would support federal legislation to codify Roe versus Wade and take us back to where no, I'm telling you what I'm saying. Absolutely. So listen, Roe v. Wade, codifying Roe v. Wade, right? We just talked about a couple of months, right? I don't want to go back to because there were a number of cases that define. Listen, stop talking and listen, all right? And you'll hear.
Well, let's go to another call. Good morning on air. Morning.
I graduated LaFleur 2003. Oh yeah, what's his name? Stephen Clark. So I went to middle school with Stephen Clark at Phillips. All right. At Auburn, yeah. Yeah, I know Stephen. Yeah. Well, no, I appreciate it, man. Look. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, appreciate it. Samari Figures is with us, the congressional candidate for the newly drawn District 2. The runoff is next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday,
Yeah,
week from tomorrow.
Next Tuesday. Good morning, on air.
Good morning, man. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. All right, so I will address them in turn. So, look, I've said it before that I think that there are two very unique cities in this district that have played a very outsized role in making America be true to what it said on paper, and that is Tuskegee and Montgomery. You asked a question about Montgomery specifically. Look, the rights that this country loves uh, to to wave the flag high on across this country and across this world in some respects. Those rights were organized for, they were strategized for, fought for, marched for, protested for, bled for, died for, right here in Montgomery. America owes Montgomery for that. Because America loves to claim that we are the home of the free, or land of the free, and home of the brave. But Montgomery is the one that made America really look itself in the mirror and actually step up to the plate and be more free, especially here for Black people. And so those are the same rights that are enjoyed from coast to coast and in some cases across this world. And Montgomery did that, hands down. Like that's a fact. And in my, my personal, my humble opinion, you have cities and towns that were very core to the founding of this, nation, i.e., your Bostons and your New Yorks and Washington D.C., back in the 17 and early 1800s. But from my opinion, there is no city more important to Montgomery, Alabama. If we look at it from the standpoint of the 20th and 21st centuries and the contributions that this city made to the conscience and the fabric of America.
We have to go to a break here, so can you stick around for about half hour more?
Oh yeah,
All right.
and I'll pick right back up.
Okay, we'll be back after these messages. You're a 90s baby.
Absolutely. No, I'm an 80s baby.
80s baby.
Yeah, 90s music.
Okay. Okay. We'll be back. Samari Figures, candidate for the year.
News Radio 1440.
You want to drink water?
Yeah.
You know, one of the we actually have two great guys. Yeah. And it's always yes, for the numbers. But I do you believe in science, don't you? So you don't believe that a man can actually transgender into a woman, do you? I believe so. Hold that thought. What scientific stuff? I hear you, but if somebody like feels and what they want to be and put themselves out to the world, what I do one day. And I said, well, you know, I thought, he said, well, what you all? I think I'm a man. Now, you know, they do me. So what you feel and what you are. Amen. Just hours to go before today's latest European trips. What is it going to do? He said, it's your own soul move. Nobody. Yeah. President Biden's taking another crack at student debt relief. A plan that the Biden administration says would wipe out student loan debt for 25 million Americans. It focuses on those who owe more than their original loans and would apply to people who started paying back undergrad loans 20 or more years ago. CBS's Evan Keith says the plan would also forgive debt for people who enrolled in college programs. Here's the one thing about this, and this is, I'm going to turn on all mics and all that.
his motivations
And the guy may not get all that money from Ukraine. Went over there. Wait a minute. Went over there and told them as vice president told Ukrainian to fire the attorney general. He got involved internally in the process of another country. Why got a guy? Hold on. That was impeached the first time. Oh, you know that. He was impeached. He was wrong. They were wrong.
Asking Ukraine to take certain actions and invest.
So did Biden.
Hold on. So you bring Trump in the peace? Hey, so what are we talking about?
But Biden went over there. Biden went over there and tried to get them to, because they was investigating his son, and he just bragged about it. He came to America and I told him, "They do this, I'm gonna keep them."
Y'all can't believe these friends. What
all right. Good talk to you.
From the other side, the same thing. So let me break it down for you. My love, my for the Attorney General of the United States, directly to the Attorney General of the United States.
You got money there. Get money on there. Money. Get money on there.
I'm leaving.
Anyway, you get the last word. Tell us why you did that.
Know how it works. So I hear some people saying like, "Oh, there's a difference in being a politician and working for a politician." Absolutely right. And if you've ever spent a day in Washington D.C., you know that the staff on the ground there are the most informed, the most educated, and knowledgeable people. That's what we do. Is actually working to make progress around these issues. Right? The relationships are really important. Not sitting down. The only thing back and forth by sitting members of Congress. People ask me what you do. If you were elected Congress, what would you do? You go in, you have a relationship with it. It's really going to be competition. Competition is actually the I mean, the defense dollar that's spent in the United States goes to competition. What we're trying to get done here in Montgomery around Maxwell. At the end of the day, you need somebody that's in this district, that lives in this district, that shows you that they value and care and respect you enough to actually live in the district that they're asking you to vote for. And at the end of the day, you do not, can you imagine someone telling you, hey, you're married, your spouse tells you, hey, stop dating all these other people after you marry. Right? It don't make common sense. Right?
You gotta make sure she gets it.
Yeah, I'll stop dating all these other people after you marry. About showing people that are invested enough and believe in you enough to actually live amongst reason my opponent doesn't like just put cards on the table. The reason my opponent doesn't want to live in this is because he would have to resign his role that he currently has if he moves to the country. You don't want to do that. And then this opportunity is not worth that risk. I know about resigning. You know about putting your life up in the air and communicating something because you believe in the possibility of the good that you can do in this position. Because I would. I resigned from my government position to do it. Right? So it's about communication, it's about commitment, it's about having people know that if you are elected, you're going to prioritize that. You're going to prioritize the citizens I have to work with. And I have to really help them out. I can be sending people to district. They will be coming to district 2.
So that death penalty, should we as a nation get rid of?
And the death penalty has too long and too far and too many times been used against people who look like me and that's evidence to prove that they were innocent, and when they were victimized by a system that was not true. So within that realm, I cannot condone a system that has that level of potential flaws. Death penalty, we don't do that. We got people that have been put on death row, crimes that they did not. We've also seen that even with having a death penalty in the United States, no. So don't sit here and tell me that it's a good thing. In fact, it's actually further that. But listen, it's a clear issue. So it's a clear issue. So you can deal with things like the cases that has to be. As a black man in the United States, I cannot be because I'm used to it. One incident one incident and so that's not I think it's not supposed to be too. One more thing, there's too many people down in the prison of Alabama. Last year, unfortunately, we put 24 people to death nationwide in the prison system. Now, maybe Alabama had 355 people killed last year in our prison. We didn't go in there for the death penalty, but we ended up doing anybody needs to be serious about this and not just give us a lip service of it, because we need it to be something that everybody in prison is there. We need to so while we so many people, 300 versus 24 million. Can you add on that? Well, I mean, that's comparing prison death rates to execution. Well, yeah, well, they are executed. So, they are executed. Prisons across the country. Yes, right, but I'm talking about, how they lost. Well, it's also not stopping the state of Alabama from defending against that lawsuit in a way that's prolonging its ability to be able to do exactly the same conditions that have been there that lead to a lot of this, right? Like Alabama has the highest incarceration rate in the nation. Why is that? Well, I think it's a variety of factors, right? I think it's because I think there's some historical ramifications there. I think it's a product of a lot of outdated criminal justice policies in terms of sentencing and in terms of crimes that we think warrant people. But look, jail should be for people who we think are prison should be for people who we think are a risk to public safety, right? Exactly, and that's not how we do it here. We use it as a punitive measure, thinking that people who are we have far too many people in these prisons that are back on probation revocation for very minor offenses. But do you know what irks us at civilians? What irks us with politics? The most prevalent word that comes out of a politician's mouth once you get elected, what I really can't do anything about that. We are so sick and tired of paying people $174,000 a year, and that's just the money we know about. And then we hear from them all the time, stay tuned. Well, I can't see the government. I can't do this.
And I said, when the hell is somebody going to be able to do something until they come tell us to vote for them? So, the prison thing, it's been going on since you've been born, since I've been here, since 91. It's been, I mean, when are we going to get people in office that can act? And if that means locking yourself to the president's door, to the president's door, to the secretary's door, and not moving, going to jail for us, so kind of, then somebody needs to do that. You're tired of hearing, I can't do anything about that. Well, what can you do? Well, did you run for office? Okay, so the first place. So listen, I agree with you. So here's who I agree with you. I agree that people like you agree with all the way down. You know, on this statement, I agree. On the aspect of this thing, I think there are also not Congress to deal with, right? And we'll get those. Right. But fighting and advocacy is every congressman has to have. Right. One more thing. You know, we want you to come on phone, be in town. You know, we want. I realize I'm not a Democrat, however, I'm not a Republican either. But I do believe in logical reason. Now, logical reason is something the Democratic Party sometimes forget. But I'll maybe, I'll remind you periodically. Well, we're talking about but logic when the people are dying, or maybe we should try to put in chicken. I like pork chop myself. Listen, hey, it's quite complicated. Don't let this be the last thing. And the problem is, just like our local legislature, we don't want to hear about the government. Let us know what's going on while the government is in the place. We actually have to. That's why I'm having a team locally to come out to it. I mean, I work in actually make sure you're in quality of them all locally. I think they're saying like you get there. Now we hope to get there. And I smart figure. Is there a way people can email or go to figure.com and now we said next Tuesday. Look, we were very fortunate in March to see 44 people in the candidates. So we're offering now. And then we got the other things on the people get that whole orders of your life and it's thoughtful. Now good luck to you. Thank you. Here we go. I appreciate you, man. Oh, going back. Sure. Didn't even know I went back. I don't understand y'all fascination in people. You're not. It's their own. Why do you No. But there's a lot. right? You still are. Yeah, well, you still are. And
Meeting or a company event, Easy Cater has everything you need to make food for work work. With Easy
And we are back. Good morning. It is 8:51 in the morning here on News Radio 1440. Somebody figures a pressing young man, right? You know, we have two people running for that in the Democratic side. Two pretty good guys. I don't, you know, if I was a Democrat, I wouldn't really have a problem of voting for either one of them. You know, but I leave right. I don't normally go because I guess I'm believing that abortion stuff. I just don't do it. 824-1440 is the number here. You're going on air. Yes, I'm doing fine. I'll let you ask your own question. All righty then. 8:53 in the morning. Good one. Who's this? You know me. Mm. Well, I mean, I rarely hear anything from Democrats at all. But on the other hand, what, what I think, and again, well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. I don't believe that if one of those individuals win and it don't go to the Republicans, uh, listen, we're gonna have philosophical differences no matter who wins. Uh, I don't think. Well, what are the planks? What are one of the planks in Daniel's platform, if you like? That's a state thing, though. Yeah, it's a state thing. Yeah. Okay, that's in the Constitution. Right. Okay. Mm. All right. All right. Well, yeah, yeah, okay, well, that's your opinion. Okay. I think he said 2003. Yeah. Okay. All right. Appreciate it. Gotta take another call because I'm running out of time. Good morning. Who's this? Yeah. I'm good. Pretty much. I mean, pretty much. Yeah. That's good. The only person I haven't felt is this person running against you, Baker. If I can reach out to her, yeah, yeah. I yeah. Well, I gotta give people. Listen, you gotta give people credit for money. It's a tough thing to do. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. All righty then. Hey, appreciate the call. We'll talk about things. We'll be back at 1-860-444. We can actually look at it. 901 022. We'll be back.
Gas prices could go up in the last 2 weeks.
WLWIAM, the home of the Big Hero Show, and heard on 95.1 HD3 FM and Emory, the Curious Media Center. On the hour, sponsored by O'Reilly.
9 Walker. Tens of millions of Americans will be This is Steve Keegan is in Indiana.
Anticipation is climaxing here at all from Texas to Maine. In just under 4.5 hours, the moon shadow solar eclipse. 32 million Americans in the top of the more have traveled here for the celestial show. It'll be memorable.
President Biden million Americans.
Let's lay this all out today in where else? Madison, Wisconsin, a big college town in a big swing state.
At the site of last month's deadly regiment, which crews have stuck moving containers for the death of the Valley cargo ship that crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge last month, causing it to collapse. That will allow them to move on the sections of the bridge resting on top of the ship.
Once enough debris is removed, the channel will be open to larger commercial ships.
CBS's Wendy Gillette reporting. And Powerball.
Let's play. That first number up is 44.
Winner at last. It wasn't me. It probably wasn't you, but someone in Portland, Oregon bought a ticket worth more than $1.3 billion with a cash value of $621. This is CBS News.
Pick O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at
at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't want to make much. Hey, I got another round of more chips. But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver. At my last checkup, my doctor was concerned about the numbers. Well, since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, I could breathe. At least I can do the same thing. There we go.
New Nordic, the number one supplier of dietary supplements.
Oh, yeah. What can I do for you?
Base for record and the racial barrier was broken 50 years ago.
Yeah.
His 715th career home run during a home game. The lead-up wasn't easy for Aaron. The racist threats he received throughout his career intensified as he approached the game's mystical record.
Just give me a buzz or something. Couldn't do it today, but anytime.
Christopher Fergus, CBS News.
Finally, something else happened 50 years ago. The Swedish couple called Annabelle won the Eurovision Film Contest and became a global hit. And I don't have to tell you the rest is top history. Vicky Barker, CBS News.
Online process and a range of coupons, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is
News Radio 1440. More at newsradio1440.com.
And we are back. Good morning, everybody. I'm feeling pretty good this morning. Well, listen, it was probably did show up, so I appreciate him dropping by. And again, I think we have, if you are a Democrat, you ought not be disappointed with either one of them. They're really decent men, young men. So I don't have a problem with either one. If I was a Democrat, I'd vote for one of them. Can't tell you which one, but I really know. But they're pretty good guys. Most of the things that we're just done with that. Good morning. Yes. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, yeah. Well, well, I live in Montgomery, so of course I'm going to be somewhat, somewhat predatory to people who I think uh, lives next door to me. As a Mm. All right, appreciate it. It is 9:11 in the morning. Good morning. Who's this? Yes, that's you. That's you. Doing pretty good there. Mhm. All right, there, Sergeant. Anyway, 9:13 in the morning. Everybody's got their. I'm just glad they come up to talk, and that is why you come on airwaves and you put your point out there or whatever it is you're trying to make, and let the people decide for themselves who they want and who they do not want. I know everybody's on this transgender thing with me. I'm just telling you, sooner or later, it is going to rear its ugly head on your job. Okay, it's going to do it, and maybe my job is going to do it again. I don't have a problem with people think they are, but I got a problem when you try to convince me that's what you are. Yeah, you want to, I mean, and sooner or later, people are going to start. Now, I heard something over the weekend. Um, I got it from a pretty good source, as a matter of fact, involving our fire department. And I'm not going to bring it out on the airways yet until I get some confirmation on some things that are supposed to be going on down there. I did reach out to a city councilman or two, and so I'm not going to. I just bear in mind there may be some news coming out. Come on, who's this? Yeah. Yeah, I think Dick could do that if he gets a chance to do it. That's fine. 860-1414 number. Now, there seemed to be some controversy over the Percy Julian, my son's school. Yeah, and I'll tell you what I have decided. He's going to have to go one more year. Okay, I'm sorry. He's just going to graduate with his team because he'll always regret not walking across that. If you didn't put up with this crap for 3 years, one more year won't hurt. Well, it just won't hurt. You need to walk across that stage so I can live vicariously through you. so I can say, yeah, that's my boy. That's him. Oh, kids. I mean, I'll be out there in the crowd making all kind of noise if I'm alive. So anyway, like that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make his brother come watch him too. But anyway, 860-1414 is the number here. Earlier this year, according to the Montgomery Advertiser, Percy Julian High School principal Ibrahim Lee decided to close down the school's math building, relocating several teachers and their classrooms. By mid-March, the closure was mostly complete, and word began to spread in the community, along with a rumor of reasons for the decision. Some teachers reported that the closure was because of security concerns, which have been point of interest across the entire district recently. Others said it was because of declining enrollment, which has been steady since 2016. Now, during the March school board meeting, District 1 Representative Lisa Keith brought up the closure publicly, though she didn't name Percy Julian at the time. According to the paper's article, said, we do have a principal that has closed down the entire building, a math building, just because of security. He was saying that kids were skipping school, smoking marijuana over there, and he did not have enough security, which is a reasonable thing to do, I guess. According to the MPS Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Arthur Watts, the district has about $750,000 in the budget for security and plans to replace or to add about 1,000 security cameras in the near future. Okay, 750. I'm thinking. So what we need to do is get the. It's a shame we do have that kind of problem in our school that we need that many security officers. But I've never seen such disrespect in school since I've been walking through there sometimes. Anyway, good morning. How you doing? Morning. Mm-hmm. Well, don't we all? don't we all? You know, but the biggest problem that they got, I mean, they just, I don't know why we cannot use discipline in our public, except the magnet schools. Why you can't and send that sucker home? Don't let them on. Don't let them on the school ground. Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, are we serious? It is. Right. Right. In public school, it is. It is. And I don't get it because when these kids get out of school and they have to compete with every other country's students on the worldwide stage, we are going to be at the bottom of the hill. So no, no, don't play that. Yeah, for failure, absolutely failure. I don't know, bro. All right, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can't you cannot, and I don't know what school system she came from, but you cannot give people a zero. You have to give them 50%. I guess. Of course, I guess I said, well, hell, if they show up for school, then they all get at least 50% for showing up for school. Okay, then. All right, let's move on to something else. Now, what else we're going to talk about today? Okay, I got that covered right there. Okay, what else? What else we got going on here? I got something else up here too, but I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is, right there. Again, our condolences go out to the family of the the, the 21-year-old deputy sheriff who, from all intents I've heard, he was just a fantastic young man, and I'm sure he'll be sorely missed by the sheriff department. And Montgomery has lost one of his young assets. I guess God needed another angel, so He took him home. So I just just it made me pretty sad this morning actually. But we tried to pay tribute to all those people who give their life in service of their country and their city and of the people of the United States. And I try to do that every time I find out about somebody. Okay. It is April the 8th. Okay. It is the 98th day of this year. It was on this day in 1911, an explosion at Banner Coal Mine in Littleton, Alabama, claimed the lives of 128 men, most of them convicts loaned out from the prison. So even back in 1911, my Alabama prisons were doing people wrong. So they're gonna loan you out to a coal mine and get you killed. Okay then. Okay, so this ain't nothing new. And one of the things I often wonder about Alabama, they got a industry in the prison where they build furniture and stuff like that. Do the inmates get any money for doing that? I mean, do they build all this furniture? Because I know where the place is. Do you get all this? They build all these things, but if they get out of there, won't nobody give them a job doing it because they got a record. So who gets this furniture? And if this, I mean, that's kind of like slavery. Though. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I know you're in prison, and I got that, but they ought to give them something for their labor. Okay, I mean, it's kind of like prison, but it's really not prison. Okay, no, it's prison. It's kind of like slavery, but it's not supposed to be slavery. So I'm just wondering who gets to buy this furniture that and aren't we competing with civilian businesses when we do that, when we have people that do that in our prison system? Isn't that kind of unfair to Ashley or those companies out there that make furniture, or aren't they kind of unfair? Anyway, but anyway, in 1911, of course, these men were loaned out to a prison, and 128 of them died. Wow, man. 1913, the 17th Amendment, most we don't talk about very much, to the Constitution, providing for popular election of U.S. Senator, because before then they were selected by the governor, as to opposed to appointment by state legislatures or the governor, was ratified. President Woodrow Wilson became the first chief executive since John Adams to address Congress in person as he asked lawmakers to enact tariff reform. I don't know. Should we still be appointing them? I don't know. 1952, President Harry S. Truman seized the American steel industry to avert a nationwide strike. The Supreme Court later ruled that Truman had overstepped his authority, opening the way for a 7-week strike by steel workers. Speaking of strikes, now I understand that Mercedes, the people in Alabama, the workers, not the workers, but the business owners in Alabama don't really like the word. What's the word I'm looking for here? When you get together and you strike, but union. Excuse me. Thank you very much. Union. They really don't like the word union, and I really don't have a problem with unions as long as they not only treat the employees right, but they treat the employer right also. I mean, there are some jobs that take a technical skill, that takes abilities, and then that may be worth 20, 30, $40 an hour. Then there's other jobs, like sweeping with a broom. Nothing wrong with sweeping with a broom, but it don't take a lot of technical expertise to grab that broom and choke it right there and sweep the trash up. So is there anybody out here that thinks that a person should get $30 an hour for sweeping? I don't think so. I mean, show me something. Show me what you're working with, except the broom. I'm just thinking now. If a man wants a job sweeping, bless his heart, he wants to work, earning some money. But I don't have a problem with unions. What say you folks out there? I don't have a problem if Hyundai got a union. I mean, I don't work out there, but I do think there needs to be some. I think there needs to be some protection from your job. If you just have a disagreement with the boss, and the boss said, "Hey, you out of here," So I don't know. I think what say you? Is there anybody out there that think that unions would be bad for Alabama? I don't think so. I think it would help. I really do, as long as you treat the employer right also. And that's what I think unions do. They come to the table. This is what we want, and the boss says, "This is what we'll give you." Okay. Oh, and the one clause ought to be, if you got a union, after so many days, they get to hire anybody they want to. Okay, to come in there, whether it's temporary work or not, you hire anybody you want to. As long as they got some experience in doing the things that you need. The problem with car manufacturers and things of that nature, you just can't walk in off the street and do the job, and they know that. But I do believe that unions are good, as long as you treat the employer as well as you can treat the employee. So that's my thing with unions. Matter of fact, we ought to put a talk show host union together here. Okay. Good morning. Who's this? I bet you are. All right then. Yeah, I don't know about your unions. Anyway, it's time to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Is everywhere you are, on the radio, online at newsradio1440.com, and on our app. You can also listen on your smart home speaker. News Radio 1440.
Sneezing, coughing,
stuffy nose, runny nose, postnasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jenna miserable. Then a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're getting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LANE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LANE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LANE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Rabies is a viral disease that can infect all mammals, including humans. This is State Public Health Veterinarian Dr. D. Jones. Protect yourself, your family, and your pet, not just by staying away from wild animals that often carry the virus, but also by getting your pets vaccinated. Raccoons and bats are the most common carriers of the rabies virus. Your first reaction may be to approach a strange acting or injured animal, but oftentimes people are bitten or scratched while trying to help these animals. The best approach may be to contact your local animal control officers. If you are bitten or scratched by an animal, you should seek medical attention immediately. Although rabies is 100% fatal, it is also 100% preventable.
This is State Health Officer Dr. Scott Harris. For more information, visit our website, www.alabamapublichealth.gov.
This is Nnamdi Asamoah. I play football for the Philadelphia Eagles, but what I do off the field with United Way might be more important. I'm a volunteer tutor and mentor. Why? Because over 1 million kids a year drop out of school, and that's not okay. It takes 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes about the same time
Josh!
to drop out. And the difference between a child becoming one or the other could be me, or it could be you. Studies show that if we get to these kids earlier, their chances are better. And kids who read well by 3rd grade are more likely to graduate. So join me in United Way. Suit up and take the pledge. Become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor. Because when a child succeeds, we all succeed. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Take the pledge at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way, the Ad Council, and the National Football League.
He's smart, witty, and fast on the draw. It's Mark Levin this afternoon at 5 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
Hey, does anybody remember about 15 years ago, some Somali pirates hijacked the U.S. flag? It's in Mace, Alabama. It's the name of a ship. Although the crew was able to retake the cargo ship, the captain, Richard Phillips, was taken captive by the raiders who were held in a lifeboat. Now, Phillips, of course, was rescued later by the Navy SEALs, snipers who had shot the three pirates. And listen, let me, for anybody out there that's thinking about taking over a U.S. ship and going against the Navy SEALs, snipers are there for a reason. So if you're not smart enough to stay out the sights of a sniper, I was you, I probably wouldn't I probably wouldn't put in for that job because they can shoot you from half a mile away. I'm just saying. So you might not want to take any more ships that's got a U.S. flag on it. I'm just saying. Your days are going to be numbered. That's all I can tell you. Okay. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. And I agree. Yeah, I'm agreeing with that. Yeah, absolutely. Hmm. Well, and again, it has, it has its pros and it has its cons. I think, now I do believe that from a pay standpoint, I do believe it is more profitable to be with a union, but that well, I didn't know they were paying people not to work. No, I didn't know that. Ford and Chrysler. Oh, and GM. Oh, is Tesla an American company now? Mm. Well, okay. You learn something new every day. I knew Ford. Well, we talked about it off air for me. Listen, Democrats have this thing. Well, we got people who don't want to work. If you giving people free food stamps and they don't have to worry about eating, they won't work. But if you got the yeah yeah and they it is, and they getting people, we call them refugees, $3,000 a month plus about $700-800 a month in food stamps, and they ain't paid no money into it. Yeah, I mean, I mean, we got an invasion going on in America. Oh well, you know. I appreciate it. And again, we're not against people who want to come here for a better life. Everybody wants to do that. But we can't take the whole world in, and we don't know. And I get it. I think it's a matter of time. I think it's a matter of when and not if, when something happens because of those people, coming in here. We're just letting them in. So something's going to happen, whether it be a disease or a bomb or something's going to happen. And then we'll be like most Americans then, well, how did that happen? How did that happen? How come my child's not alive anymore? Because she's dead from something, or he's dead from something that we thought we had eradicated decades ago. Well, you keep letting people come in here, and fentanyl just seems to be, I don't know what fentanyl is. I think it's a cocaine or something. I don't know what it is. I know one thing, I'm trying to stay the hell away from it. But I don't understand. People are responsible for these borders, making sure this country is safe, and they're not doing it. They're not. And Mayorkas, he was impeached, but nobody fired him yet. So I guess impeachment really don't mean anything. It means we bring this charge against you. But unless everybody, the majority of the Senate people vote for you, be gone, you're still there. So yeah, I don't know. 860-1440 is the number here. You want to give us a call, love to talk to you, whatever on your mind. I had some other things going on too. Oh, here's one. The one thing that irks me often when people run for politics and they run basically in a black district. Here's what gets me. I never hear people say we can be all that we want to be if we're willing to put in the work. My job will be to go up there and make sure your work does not go in vain. Okay. But we always bring up, every politicians always bring about the what happened years and years ago. Okay, in Alabama. Alabama sucked years ago. And some days it may suck now too. But being a man that has lived in multiple cities and multiple states in America and a few countries overseas, somebody's complaining no matter where they live. I lived in Paradise, in Honolulu, okay, Waikiki, and there are people over there in Maui and Lanai and Kuhalave. I mean, I've been to all those islands, right? And somebody is complaining over there. You go over there, people from Chicago, man, I ought to go back to Chicago. I don't know why I'm here. Well, the plane's leaving every day. You can leave. But every time somebody runs in a black community, it's not about empowerment. To me, it is about holding on to the past because it gives me power. Scaring the hell out of black folks as if the night rider going to come through there in the middle of the night, open their door, take them downtown to the slave camp. I think we insult the dignity and the intelligence of a lot of black folks by this scare tactic. Okay, I may die, but nobody gonna put me in slavery. Nobody's gonna stop me from doing the things I want to do, as long as they're legal, of course. So why is that the only way we can get black folks to come out and vote, is to scare them with this thought process that somebody's gonna come in and steal you in the middle of the night? I mean, how long is it going to work? And maybe that's because we don't seem to motivate people to come out and vote, because it's about upward mobility. Okay, seriously, I mean, how long? Like Martin Luther King said, how long are we going to scare the hell out of black folks by making this thing, that well, if you don't vote for me, the Republicans are going to come and make slaves out of you. Show me one state in America. I just want to know one. Just give me one state in America where Republicans are in charge, where black folks are slaves. Okay, or can't get jobs. Okay, I mean, show me. I just give me one. Okay, show me. And they always bring up the Voting Rights Act. Is there anybody in this country? As a matter of fact, I think we've made too many allowances for people to vote. Okay, too many voting for the presidency of the United States for 30 or 40 days through the absentee ballot process. How do you know where you're going to be 60 days from now? So I think that we have to empower people with our speeches. We have to make people understand you can be. I tell my son, whatever you want to be, but I always give him a caveat. You have to be willing to put in the work. You don't get a free pass because you happen to be black and we had a tough time in America. Nobody gets a free pass. You got to put in the work. You got to go to school, take something up that matters. You can't take up gender identity and think you're going to get a job making decent money. And now with artificial intelligence, although I know a lot of people with artificial intelligence, but with artificial intelligence coming on the scene, there's going to be less and less people they're going to need to hire. So I don't know. I just get tired of hearing, but every time you have a political race in Alabama, we got to bring up 1962. We got to, when so many people have died and forsake everything they were to make sure that we have the rights that we do now. I'm just saying, is that the only way we can get votes? We can't get votes by explaining to people that this is why you need to vote for me. It's got nothing to do with color. It's got something to do with culture and courage. The ability to stand up for what you believe and the ability to fight for that same thing. Got to take a break and we'll be back. I'm pretty sure there'll be some people disagree with me as soon as I come back. We'll be back.
Cloudy. We will have a chance of some showers, though, give or take 4 o'clock onward through the evening and overnight. Nothing severe, probably not even much in the way of thunder or lightning. Tonight's warm. We're down into the upper 50s. We'll be in the 70s tomorrow with a chance of some showers.
Black folks blame the white folks for everything.
System with heavy rain and strong storms Wednesday to Wednesday night. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
That you don't prepare
Easy Cater.
yourself for.
100,000 restaurants, one platform. Need food for a meeting or a company event? Easy Cater has everything you need to make work. With easy online ordering and reordering. Save your favorite orders, make edits as needed, and click. We even help you with expenses by keeping your receipts all in one place, which means all you need to do is sit back and enjoy the food. From ordering to reporting, Easy Cater has everything to make food for work work. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
In the past 5 presidential election years, gold rose an average of 10%. This election year, where do you purchase gold for your portfolio? Don't believe the hype from the paid celebrities. Call me, America's gold expert, Dr. Mike Fulgens at Universal Coin and Bullion. I've advised attorney generals and the FTC on protections for you, the consumer, and I won't add ridiculous markups so you won't overpay for gold. Call Universal Coin and Bullion at 800-822-GOLD. That's 800-822-GOLD. 800-822-GOLD.
If spring allergies keep you trapped inside, then you need Navage Nasal Care to keep you breathing clearly and enjoying all the beauties of spring. Navage helps clear nasal passages that are often clogged because of seasonal allergies. Navage gently flushes a pure, refreshing saline solution through your nasal passages to clear out congestion, sucking out that springtime pollen and other irritants trapped in your nose. Navage is available online at navage.com or in stores at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, Navage.
You do everything you can for your family. A nice home, good food, family fun, and the right medical care. You plan ahead for your kids' future and their education. That's all great, unless something unexpected happens to you. If you were to die, who would pay the mortgage and all the other bills? Would your family have to sell their home just to survive? That's why you need to call Term Provider for the lowest rates available on quality term life policies, period. Rates for term life are at all-time lows, and Term Provider could save you 50, 60, even 70%. Already have coverage? Call and see if you're paying too much. Term Provider could save you thousands. And if your health isn't perfect, even more reason to call. We'll match you with the right policy, even if you have weight issues like diabetes or high blood pressure. Right now, your family's protected. Make sure that protection continues if something unexpected happens to you. Call for a free quote and see if you can save up to 70%. Call 800-511-3535 now. That's 800-511-3535. 800-511-3535.
I love being a part of the Action Team. It helps me help other people. It helps me feel good.
Being a part of the team always feels good. Go for it. Don't even hesitate.
For more than a decade, Major League Baseball players and action teams of high school students have been working together to train and inspire the next generation of volunteers.
Once you get there and realize how much you can change someone's life, it's one of the best feelings in the world.
Just that simple act that takes 5 or 10 minutes of your time is making a difference and is transforming someone else's life.
All-star Giancarlo Stanton and Chris Capuano join action team captains to make a difference in their communities, and you can too.
Just try it. Just go to one event, one action team event.
If we all show up together, that's what it's all about. It's not just one person. It's a group. It's a team.
It's been incredibly rewarding for me. It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
For more information, go to actionteam.org.
I got smart about mortgages. Now it's my house I go home to.
I got smart about credit cards. Now paper or plastic has a whole new meaning.
You know!
Whatever you want to get smart
It is me, Chad.
SmartAboutMoney.org. SmartAboutMoney.org is a free online resource from the National Endowment for Financial Education. We're an independent nonprofit foundation dedicated to helping people just like you get sound information about money. SmartAboutMoney.org. It's the easy place to start when you want to get smart.
Hi, I'm Queen Latifah. Even with heart failure, my mother remains strong.
Because without strength, you lose hope. Together, we will rise above heart failure.
To help prevent, improve, or manage heart failure, go to riseabovehf.org.
You don't have to miss a second of your favorite talk show at home or at work. Listen on your smart speaker, on your Alexa or Google smart home device. News Radio 1440.
All righty then. It is 9:49 in the morning right here on News Radio 1440. You got something you want to say? You disagree with me? That's fine. You pick up the phone. 860-1440 is the number. I don't mind disagreement. I just want you to be able to articulate why you disagree with me. That's all. Good morning, on air. Morning. Okay, guess not. Anyway, move right along to other things right now. Let me see here now. Okay, somebody sent me a text there. Somebody said, okay, I can do that. Okay. When are you going to move to Montgomery? I don't know when he's going to move to Montgomery. I don't know. I thought people were moving out of Montgomery. I like Montgomery, though. I really do. I mean, I don't like some of the things that have happened since I have been here since 91. Some of the neighborhoods at least absolutely used to look very pristine. Now are I remember there's an apartment complex called Colony back on Troy Highway years ago. Absolutely gorgeous. And then 10 years later, I go out there and they got Pampers outside the garbage can and all kinds of things. I mean, how did some neighborhoods get all screwed up like that? I don't know. But anyway, I like Montgomery, though, to tell you the truth. I left Honolulu to come here, so I'm telling you. So I'm good. Good morning. Yes. Now I ain't softening, but I ain't softening, but I'm just I just be real with me. Don't try to convince me that you are what you're not. Well, yeah. But they're not a girl, and therein lies the problem. Like Caitlyn, that woman, that's a boy, that's a man. I don't care what nobody said. That's a male. Although she sounds like a girl. Sounds like a girl. Yeah, she does. But anyway, they told. I thought somebody showed a picture had an Adam's apple on a picture on the internet. I said, well, if you got an Adam's apple, that means you're a guy. I don't know. Oh well. Yeah, I got you. I feel you. I know what you're saying. Good morning. Who's this? Okay. Hey. You can always tell when it's getting close to the end. Then the crazies come out. That's okay, though. I appreciate crazy folks, too. And again, listen, don't get me wrong. I really believe that people have a right to be whatever they are. But the problem is when your decisions of misidentification start affecting people's job and their workplace, then it's a problem. Okay, like now I go to Hardee's and there's a guy up there, obviously a man, but he got a wig and stuff on. But you know what? A nice person. I don't say nothing to him. I said thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know exactly what to call them, but I just say thank you. And they're always nice. So I got no problem with people. Just that. But I mean, guys, there are some guys. There are just some guys who who don't make good looking women. I'm just telling you. Some of y'all don't. I'm just. You might want to. You might want to. Check that out. Good morning. Who's this? So now. See, I knew that. Good morning. Who's this? Yeah. I just. I mean, yeah. Mm, I hear you. All right. Appreciate it. Good morning. Who's this? Yeah, I hear you. Good morning. Who's this? I guess nobody's there. That's good. Okay, good. You can always tell when it's getting close to closing. That's when the crazies come out. But I'm not mad at y'all about nothing though, you know. Okay, let me see. Okay, there goes. Okay, good. All right, what else happened on this? My lesson of life today. My lesson of life today, because I said I'd do it at the end of the show. It is, first of all, it is a great day to be alive. Now, the lesson of life today is this. You can cry because the journey is over, or you can love even more because the journey happened. And what that means is that there are many things that would have never happened had that person not come through your life. So even though the journey has ended, it gives you fuel to be a better person each and every day you live. So don't get sad because the journey is over. Thank God that it happened. Okay, that's a lesson of life today. Okay, and from now on, I'm gonna do all my lesson of life at the end of the show. Okay, I would give you a word of the day. Well, the word of the day is cogitate. What is cogitate? Cogite. Cogitate. What does it mean? It means to think very, very deeply about something. And who's this? Okay then. Well, nobody can hear you because I didn't take you up. But you know, I learned the trick to this thing. That I can hear you before anybody else can, so I just hang up on you. Yeah, I'm just. I hate to do that to you, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Like here's one right here. All right, who's this? Okay, see, you're not saying anything against you. Now, nobody ever hears you except me. I mean, so yeah. All right. Anyway, so we're gonna stop taking calls. I'm just trying to get people. There may be somebody legitimate out there that has a call. Something else happened on this day, April 8th, 1994. Kurt Cobain, singer and guitarist of the grunge band Nirvana, was found dead in a Seattle apartment, apparently afflicted with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Good morning. Who's this? All right then. Good morning. Who's this? I can't hear you because you know all this calling back stuff, but we ain't going with that. Okay, I told you. See? Anyway, see, I told you, you shouldn't mess with the guy that has the microphone. Yeah, and who's this? Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, no more calls. We're gonna get on to something else. All right. Okay, I'll try one more. See. All right, just to see, you can't get on unless I let you on. Good morning. Women got Adam's apples? Women's got Adam's apples? I didn't know that. Oh, so why did somebody tell me that? All right, well, my bad. I thought only men had Adam's apples. I must have missed that part in the knowledge in what's that class we took on anatomy? Yeah, I must have missed that part. I didn't know women had Adam's apples. Huh. Oh well. Okay, so it may have been a girl. She sounds like a girl, but she certainly don't look like a girl. I don't know. Anyway, moving right along. It is 9:57 in the morning. On this date, in 1864, the United States Senate passed 38-6 the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution, abolishing slavery. The House of Representatives passed it in January 1865. The amendment ratified and adopted in December 1865. All right then. In 1952, I already got that. I already told you about that one. 1961, a suspected bomb exploded aboard a passenger liner, MV Dara, in the Persian Gulf, causing it to sink. 238 of the 819 people actually died. And on this day in 1974, Hank Aaron of the Atlanta Braves hit the 715th home run in a game against the Los Angeles Dodgers, breaking Babe Ruth record, hammering Hank. And in 1993, on this day, Marian Anderson, one of the greatest opera stars ever lived, and she was black, died in Oregon at the age of 96. I've never really been a fan of opera. Probably because I'm not sophisticated enough to be good at it. But okay, I can live with that. Hopefully.